I've still been struggling to watch the BBCAN10 feeds because I believe that the cast is mostly boring unless they're talking game. But they don't talk game that much, if we're being real. If we're being real, they talk game maybe 2 to 3 hours a day at most. And that makes for a long day viewing the feeds, but I might as well give my take on the Gino HOH. It's been another odd HOH. You know, half of this cast doesn't know what the hell they're doing. Gino's initial noms were Jess and Marty because Gino was just so upset with old Marty. And he has every reason to be. They had that French connection, talking French to each other all the time. Or Marty doesn't tell him that he's going against Gino and Kyle's thinking of voting Josh out of the game. And instead, Stephanie ends up getting blindsided, which also blindsided Kyle, of course, as we all know by now. But it also blindsided Gino, and that's why he was so upset and originally nominated Marty. But Marty did win the HOH, and Marty was upset himself that, Marty didn't have the right to be upset as he was at Gino and Kyle. Because Marty is the one that set all of this in motion during his HOH. And then Kyle jumped aboard and other-sided all the black players, even though he was supposed to be in this big alliance with most of them. So, and Marty is the one that convinced Kyle to put up Josh and then doesn't vote Josh out of the game, making no sense. Kyle, Marty, and Gino, none of them had made a whole lot of sense over the past week. But once Marty won veto, he decided to try and fix the French connection, at least for this week. Maybe next. I don't know where Marty really stands with Gino at this point. But the fun of it all is that thanks to Summer's epic social game, Summer's social game is her superpower, honestly. The fact that she's good with so many people in the house, and the fact that a lot of people in the house want Summer on their side, makes Summer's social game important. Because Summer first puts out, as soon as Gino wins HOH, that he needs to distance himself from Kyle because Kyle is the house target. Well, Gino didn't quite listen with his initial noms, but he has backdoored Kyle as the renom. One of his closest allies in the game. And it is mostly to get Summer back on his side, because Summer is a hot commodity because she's so good with everyone. So Summer does deserve a lot of credit for this Kyle backdoor because Summer is the one that planted these seeds, and Gino wants to please Summer, despite being in a showmance with JC Lynn. I initially wanted to talk more about Betty and Kevin today, but I'll save it. That might deserve its own special video, because that relationship is the only thing I found entertaining these past couple of weeks. And look, I say the feeds are boring because they are. Like, when they're not talking game, these are boring or annoying cast members, in my opinion. But the game itself has been very chaotic. I mean, the fact that 4 rounds straight, one of the nominees has won veto is hectic and should make for good television. I'm only watching Thursday episodes because I can't be fucked, but it should overall make for good television. I'm hoping if their editing isn't as bad as it was last season. So where does this leave Gino, I guess, you know? Clearly I was right last week when I said Gino isn't problematic like Kyle and Marty, because he has tried to end the race war this week. He did not nominate anybody black this week, because Gino is actually in good with some of the black players, unlike Kyle and Marty. And actually Kyle and Marty were in good with some of the black players, but decided to go against that for whatever reason. I know some are saying this is a really bad move for Gino. I think Ray Rush in the comments, I think you were one of those people, and I do agree this is not good for Gino's long game, losing Kyle. One, because Kyle is a shield in front of him, but also because Kyle is a number for him. But I don't know if it's the worst thing for his short-term game. I do think this definitely grows Gino's target. 100% it does. But he should be able to use this week, or he needs to use this week to recover his social game and his alliances. You know, him and Herman are good. And that dumbass Helena. Let's talk about her for a second. You know, I gave Shayna a lot of shit on Celebrity Big Brother for a bad rat game. Helena's is 5 times worse than that. Helena rats just to rat constantly. And Helena thought she was just so in good with the guys that she could, after Marty wins veto, she could go up to Gino and convince Gino to put up Herman. And she fails miserably because Herman's social game and Herman's game period is just better than everyone's probably. Although his target has definitely grown, and I'll get to that in a second. But I have to just once again reiterate how terrible of a rat game Helena is playing. And people are starting to catch on, which usually means it's only a matter of time before Helena becomes a target playing this poorly constructed rat game that she's doing. But I did find it funny how she was just so convinced she was going to be able to get Gino to put up Herman, but Herman is outplaying her. But Herman did make a mistake last week when he initially was trying to get a closer vote so that he can say he voted with Kyle and Marty. But that didn't turn out as the week went on. But I think that sketched people out about him. So that is the one thing that's not going for him, is that there are people sketched out by him, and I do think his target is continuing to grow more and more each week. And with Kyle going, that means a shield is going for both Herman and Gino. So with Kyle going, their targets only grow, for sure. We'll see if Kyle actually even fights to stay. He doesn't seem like he's really into fighting today, from what I've seen. And they're doing this phone thing. The phone keeps ringing. People are getting punishments, I guess. I know Summer and Gino are handcuffed together, which should make JC Lynn not happy, especially since Gino's already trying to play Summer this week. So I guess watch out for that triangle. But to recap, Gino's initial noms fell through because Marty won veto, and the French Connection is allegedly okay for now, but I think Marty still has hard feelings, and I don't think Gino's completely over it himself because Marty betrayed Gino. He did. And then Summer, everybody's trying to please Summer because Summer is so good with everybody. Her social game is top tier. Summer's social game is top tier. If you watch her social game play out, sometimes she makes mistakes strategically, like she's very good at growing some of her alliance members' targets, but she doesn't do that purposefully. She does that accidentally by saying the wrong thing sometimes. Helena is playing a bad rat game, and Kyle finds himself on the block from one of his only allies, because let's recap this one last time. The problematicness of Kyle and Marty this season. Marty was good with Summer and Tanisha, but went against that to try and get together more white allies. Meanwhile, Kyle decided, even though he's in an alliance with most of the black players, that he's going to nominate 2 of them last week. And then you wonder how he got in this predicament. It made no logical sense last week, and it all seemed racially motivated. And look where they are now.